Hi, this is Monica from Unique Designs by Monica, and today we're going to be creating a popsicle on Silhouette Studio Basics, using nothing more than just basic shape. Now, can you do this? Can you use this SVG for Cricut? Yes, yes, you can. There are ways that you can make this studio file into an SVG file, and there are videos that I have already personally have done, which I will post in the link below. But for today, I'm going to show you how I created this delicious popsicle. So I'm going to just take this, set it aside, make it a little bit smaller, just like that, so you can see what it looks like. And today we're going to go over here to our rounded rectangle tool. And it doesn't matter what size. It really depends on what size you want it, the thickness that you want. I'm just going to go right there. And before I continue, I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to get my little daubing tool here, and I'm going to select this pink that I've already selected. As you can see, let's get a little closer. As you can see, there are two little dots up here. And change it to my select tool. The moment I grab the red dot and pull it, it starts warping the sides. Now I'm going to put it right there. Now the more you go, the more pill-like it'll, like a medical pill, it'll look like. So I wanted to keep that box frame with the little rounded edges. So I'm going to go now to, actually, no, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go over to my knife tool right over here. And before it starts to round right here, I'm going to cut it. I want to hold my shift key, which will give me a straight line. There we go. I'm going to remove that. Now we have part of our shape here. So now I'm going to just duplicate it, and I'm going to select the back tool right over here, and I'm going to get my little daubing tool and make that darker. Now you can go whichever way you want. I went to the right. I guess I can go to the left this time so you can see what I'm doing. So this looks pretty good, but I'm just going to scoot it up just a little bit, move it over to where I want this to go. Now the further I go, the thicker the popsicle will be. The thinner I go, the thinner the popsicle would be. That looks pretty good to me. Now, I'm not done yet. I'm going to get a little closer, even more, and I'm going to go all the way down here. Now you're thinking, well, yeah, sure, it gives me a nice little shadow effect, but I want this to look more like it's three-dimensional. So I'm going to double click the back, and I'm just going to go right here and pull it right to the point. Look at that. Now it went from a shadow to being a fully formed three-dimensional look just by doing that one line. There we go. All right, now what are we going to do? We're going to select everything and copy. Not copy, group. Now copy. You're like, okay, now we have two, but it's not for what you think. So I'm going to ungroup, and I'm going to select my little dauber tool again. And I'm going to change it to a paler color, both the front and the back. This is going to give me a darker yellow. Okay. I'm going to group it again, and this time I'm just going to make it a little smaller. And then vertically, choose vertically and push it back. Now, this looks well and good, but I want my popsicle stick to be a little thinner. So let's get a little closer here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to grab the sides and make it thinner. All right. I'm going to highlight everything. Is this grouped? Yes, it is. And I'm going to make sure that it's perfectly centered. There we go. part of it is already done. All right, next part. I am now going to grab and make the little shadowy parts here. Again, going back to my rounded rectangle tool. And I'm just going to elongate it to where I want this to be. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to get my little daubing tool and go darker. Now, all I did really is use these three. This pink, dark pink, and darker pink. That's all I did. Just these three shadings to make this SVG. Alright, let's get a little closer here. Let's see. That's about right. Do I want this to be a little bit more rounder? Just a little tad. A little bit. Not too much. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to convert path and then duplicate it. But instead of using my copy and paste, which you can do, I'm going to go over here to my replicate panel and just go to the left. Or should I say right. And what that does, it copies it but moves it directly in the same area. It's balanced perfectly. It's right in the center. So I'm just going to push it over just a little bit. And there we go. So part of our ice cream is done. Let's get rid of all of these lines because they're bothering me. I want to group everything together. And then I'm going to go to my little line style. I'm going to go to line color. And I'm going to remove everything. This is my no fill, no color. Okay, we got everything we need. Now we're going to go do the same thing. Go to our replicant. Move it to the side just a little bit. All right. Now we're going to ungroup everything because everything is grouped together. And we are going to do this little guy right here. So everything stays the same except for one little thing. We're going to go and take a bite out of it. In order to do that, we're just going to go to our ellipse tool. I just call it my circle tool. And then we're going to start making tiny circles. Now, you're not just going to go straight down, or you're going to do more like a C, the letter C, little crescent, if you will. And you want to make sure that the first two bubbles are exactly the same, while the ones on the side are slightly smaller. Okay, I'm going to grab this one. Let me just make sure you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. All right. And then we're just going to keep going just a bit smaller. I think that's fine right there. That looks pretty good. Makes this a little bit bigger. Let's see. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's just turn it just a little more. Now I'm going to grab my bigger, I'm going to do a bigger ellipse. Okay. And make this white also. And weld. Now, you may see, for me, I see a little bite mark. However, if you turn it just far enough, you made yourself an ice cream cone. But that's for a different video. But that is another way you can get yourself an ice cream, just doing this particular shape. But for now, I'm using it as my own personal little bite mark. Okay, that's a little too small. I'm going to make this a little bigger. It needs to touch side to side. I don't want this to be anywhere near. I just want this to be added. All right, now that I've done this, I'm going to select the front panel. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just eat away at this. So I'm going to go over to my modified panel. And I'm going to use the subtract tool. Okay, I clicked it. Now you're thinking, well, I don't see any difference. Well, if you move it back just a little bit, you see it ate right through it. So I'm just going to do undo. Now that that's already been eaten away, I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to get to the second panel and subtract again. Now I'm going to move it away. Now, these two need to be perfectly eaten away. The last one needs to be moved back just a little bit. Okay. You know what I didn't do before I started? I did not copy this to this, and now I have a gap. Better to learn now than later. So let's undo everything as it was once. Okay, nope, went too far. Okay, this panel needs to be this one solid thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate it, copy, paste, and I'm going to weld. Pardon me. I'm going to weld the whole thing. Now I'm going to get rid of this and line this up. Okay, a little more. Okay. Oh, went too far. There we go. All right, now let's do the thing all over again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Select. Looks like I'm getting a summer cold here. Drink a little water. Nope. All right, and this subtract. Grab the back panel and this subtract. And then move it back just ever so slightly. And let me just move it a little further. There we go. And subtract. I didn't select it, so now I can select it. There we go. It's been officially been bitten into. Now I don't want two of the same colors, so I'm just going to select where I need, get my little daubing tool, and start changing the colors. And you can do this several more times. You know, get pink, purple, blue. There's so many popsicle colors out there. You don't have to just stick with the one over and over again. And there you go. Okay, well, I see there's a small little problem. You see right here? Okay, let's get a little closer. It's supposed to be like this, but as you can see, it's like this. So let's simplify our little dots here. I could either bring this guy up or this guy down. Let's see if going down works. Just a little bit, not by much. Good. See, just a little change like that makes a difference. If you want to keep editing it to where you want it to be, you can. But that looks good. That looks more three-dimensional because now there's a flat line here and there's a flat line here. Yeah, that looks much better. Ta-da! We are done. And that only took us roughly 13 minutes to do. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much and have a beautiful day.